Welcome back to the show. The ranking member of House Homeland Security, Congressman John Katko. Congressman, it's a pleasure to have you on. Okay, the devastating fallout of defund the police and weak on crime prosecutors. CBS reporting, based on FBI data, that nearly half of all murders in the United States go unsolved. This is happening just as murders rise. Congressman, that's a record low. Victims' families, communities, they don't have closure. They're feeling unsafe without answers. What do you say to this?
Well, I think like in life, in generally every action, there's a reaction. And so when you take actions like defunding police, vilifying police, and passing laws which make police much more difficult to do their job, several things happen. Number one, you have less cops on the street. You have less cops working a job. Cops hesitant to do their job. And that leads to demoralization. And I think in the end, the attrition rates we're seeing nationwide is going to have a profound long-term effect. And it all goes back to what they're doing to try and defund and demonize police. And you know, not just murder rates are being cleared, but in Seattle, for example, they're not even putting detectives on sexual assault cases this year because they don't have the manpower. Those are the types of long-term impacts they're going to have from this action. They got to turn it around.
How does this happen? I mean, you know, politicians, they swear an oath to defend and protect, right? But in New York City, only 54% of murders resulted in an arrest and were solved. Only 35% of shootings in New York City resulted in arrests last year. That's a calamitous drop since 2017. So, you know, the analysis coming in on crime, no country except the United States had a large homicide spike in 2020. This is in our shutdowns and also defund the police push, right? And weak on crime policies. No other country did this.
There's no question that it's a direct correlation between vilifying and making police more difficult to do their job and what's happening. Right, like I was a prosecutor in murder cases for 20 years. If we didn't have a clear rate or a solve rate of more than 90%, we felt like we weren't doing our jobs. And you know, you had numbers in the 50s. Those are historically low numbers. And don't forget, those people are victims. Their families don't have answers. And the criminals who aren't getting caught feel emboldened to do more. And you're seeing that unfold, especially in these larger cities.
Okay, how do you turn it around? How do you turn it around?
Well, we got Governor McCarthy appointing the head of the American Security Task Force. We're coming up with a blueprint on day one when we take over the House next term to go after these rogue DAs, to go after states that are passing laws and become apologists for criminals, and we're going to make sure there's just more cops on the street through funding. So we're going to turn this around. We're going to turn it around on day one. That I assure you.
Congressman Katko, pleasure having you on. Come back soon.
You too.
Mounting questions for the White House.